Superstar, international superstar JP Case Jones here, and I am joined by my co-host, the one and only Max Abel, the undeniable truth, and we are here for ASW Slamcast live on Facebook, YouTube, all around the world. There was some rumors that there might be a Shane Morton joining us, but there's no Shane Morton. Now, Barry Hardman is with us, the media manager and chief content operator for Action Sports Wrestling, and the undeniable truth, Max Abel, who's going to be in the corner of Tyler Thorne coming up September 21st in Tullahoma, Tennessee for Action Sports Wrestling live at the 200 Craft Lane Action Sports Indoor Arena. It's going to be a great night. Max, how are you doing tonight?
I'm feeling great. You know, I had a good workout earlier. I'm feeling great. Things are going good here at the Max Abel camp, and, you know, we're ready to unleash Tyler Thorne on that rock piece of dog.
You know, I have been told that apparently Shane Morton is having some technical difficulties, and I can assure you, Big Daddy P, who's on mute, that I had nothing to do with that. And, looks like we lost Big Daddy P. Hey, it's just me and you, Max Abel, to talk about some of the great things coming up September 21st.
And ratings are going up now on the show if you look at it.
Hey, everybody is tuning in to see the international superstar Max Abel. Max, you've got an incredible wrestling career going on. What's your next booking? Where are you wrestling at next, Max?
So we're taking a little bit of time off. Smoky Mountain Pro is closed right now, but we are planning on doing some stuff with the NWA. I'm working a lot with the NWA JCP, NWA Crossfire, with the Kazanas and all that. But our next promotion, I think it's in Newport, Prodigy Wrestling. I forgot the date, but it's coming up, and we're going to bring out a good show. I mean, it's me, the undeniable truth. I'm here to tell the truth, you know. That's all I do.
Max, you do it, and no one tells the truth better than Max Abel, if you ask me, the international superstar JP Case Jones. Now, we do have to remind everybody that September 21st is not the only show we're going to talk about here today. We're also going to talk about this benefit for the Right Way Wrestling reunion coming up this Sunday, 106 Southside Drive or Street or wherever in Tullahoma, Tennessee. If you Google it, I assure you any of those ways you will find it. SWF, Gypsy Joe Arena. What huge matches are booked, especially that main event. Now, we are trying to get the technical difficulties with Shane Morton worked out so we can actually have Shane be a part of this podcast. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of happy that we don't have to hear from the brand new general manager. And
I blame Kevin Martin for that one. You know, Kevin's always been doing his little weaselly way to ruin things. I don't understand.
Well, that's the way Kevin Martin has always been. He's always been a little weasel. Now, there's the Rock Dog. We see him. He's going to be in action coming up September 21st. Like we mentioned before, he'll be going one-on-one with Tyler Thorne with the undeniable truth, Max Abel in his corner. Now, we know the last show there in Tullahoma, we had a fans lumberjack strap match. How about telling us what happened in that match there, Max?
See, what happened was Rock Dog decided to take my gear and threw it away. We don't even know what happened. So I was already not in a good mental state. And then I had to be surrounded by them crummy fans by the ring hitting me with a belt. So, you know, my mind was already just all jumbled up. So, I mean, it wasn't a great night. Unfortunately, Rock Dog got lucky. But, you know, every dog has his days. You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to see if his day comes September 21st, right there in Tullahoma, Tennessee, when he goes one-on-one with Tyler Thorne. And I don't have to speak for you or anything, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to get involved or anything in that match, of course, right?
Oh no. I'm just there to give Tyler some encouragement. I'm gonna say, hey, he's cheating. Got to get him here. Just a little here and there and give him some tips. But I don't need to help Tyler because he's great. He's a great wrestler. He's good at what he does.
That is very true. Tyler Thorne, one of the best up-and-coming guys on the independent circuit. I'm telling you, one day we're going to see him at AEW. We're going to see him in a big promotion. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. I agree 100%. I mean, he's a star that's not given his flowers, and he's going to get them one day.
Speaking of big promotions, we're still trying to make that connection there with Shane Morton. But coming up this Sunday at the Right Way Wrestling Reunion, it is going to be a huge main event. It's a triple threat match, and we've got some word from Jeremiah Plunkett. Let's hear what Jeremiah Plunkett has to say about his match coming up.
He's a bad man.
Sunday, August the 10th, I will be making my way to Tullahoma, Tennessee, and walking the hallowed halls that is the Gypsy Joe Arena for the first time in nearly a decade. And I'll be doing so in order to raise funds for the Right Way Wrestling Reunion, a wrestling reunion that is not just important to me, but is important to my peers and important to the mentors that came before me. And because of that, I am honored to say that I'll be putting my NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Championship on the line against not one man, but two. In one corner, you will have Ty Rose and the other DJ Arp, both second-generation wrestlers looking to escape their father's shadows, and they see this championship as a way to do it. But the problem, boys, is that neither one of you are man enough to get far enough away from Daddy to get it done on your own. I already know Pat Rose will be in Ty's corner, and I can only assume, with as big of an opportunity as this is, that Yukon Jack will be in DJ's. And while I may be prideful, I'm not stupid. I'm not going into a fight unmanned. So I called in a favor. I called my old manager, Jimmy Street, and I spoke with him and his brother Jared, and I said, guys, I need you to do me a solid. And they did, and I don't know how they convinced them to do it. But August 10th, Sonny Street is coming to the Gypsy Joe Arena. Sonny Street is coming to Tullahoma, Tennessee, and Sonny Street will be in my corner. And that's bad news for you, Pat Rose, and that's bad news for you, Yukon Jack. But I figure we can avoid this mess and do things one or two ways. One, everybody can just sit back and watch a champion do his work and show your boys that they ain't ready. Or two, Pat could stick his nose in, or Yukon could stick his nose in. But unfortunately, that means Sonny has to stick his nose in, and that's bad news for everybody. So what do you say we avoid the mess, boys? Everybody just sit back and relax and watch me embarrass your sons. Because I want to do this the right way. What do you say?
He's coming away.
That was some major words from the NWA champion there, Jeremiah Plunkett, Max.
I'd have to agree. I just watched Jeremiah Plunkett face another second generation superstar, third generation superstar, Casey Kazana this past weekend. And man, when it comes to the third or second generation superstars, he does not mean business. He means what he says, and he will do it.
Listen, I've watched Jeremiah Plunkett for over a decade now, almost a decade and a half, and he continues to impress me every time I see him. And that's been going on for years. Jeremiah Plunkett is definitely worthy of any championship in professional wrestling, especially that NWA championship, and he's crushing it. Has anyone I've seen some close calls, but has anyone been a threat to him as champion since he's had it?
Now I will say this: yes, he gave Casey Kazan a beating, but Casey Kazan, like, he gave him a run for his money last week. But at the end, Jeremiah Plunkett, he nailed him to where it needed to be because Casey's one of my boys. But at the end, Casey unfortunately didn't get the job done, and I felt it, but it was close. It gave him a run for his money. I think another one is Crazy Steve, who gave him a run for his money for that championship.
I did see that match with Crazy Steve. It was a crazy match. We saw tables get involved and all that. No matter what people do think, I am a fan of professional wrestling, all forms of it in all different places, whether it would be in an independent show. It might even be an independent show run by people I don't like, but I still will be a fan of professional wrestling. And I believe that a true journeyman, one of the few that are left, is Jeremiah Plunkett. Speaking of journeymen, we all know that I happen to be one. I mean, I've always kind of been a journeyman, and in my journeys, I've come across a lot of people, whether it be Jackie Fargo, Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, PG-13, or Jeff Jarrett. And this past show in Tullahoma, there was an incident with me and Jeff Jarrett. So
yeah,
I guess instead of just talking about it, we'll take a look at what happened at our last show in Tullahoma.
Yeah. And then Morton.
What's up, Tullahoma? Yeah, Kevin referred to me as the king of the mountain. I got my last outlaw shirt on. I've been the chosen one. I've been slap nuts like this guy right here. And way back in the day, I was, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget it. Simply Irresistible was one, but the golden boy, Jeff Jarrett, wrestled right down the road in Cowan, Tennessee many times. Now, I was telling the story earlier. I did my very first newspaper interview in Cowan, and so a lot of fond memories that I've had. Obviously, born and raised in Tennessee, and I like to say this. You folks, I'm just like you, I've been a wrestling fan my entire life, but the wrestling fan has put groceries on the Jarrett table for many years. And from the bottom of my heart, I can tell you this, my grandmother started promoting wrestling in 1946. And then my dad, Jerry, he wrestled and promoted, and I just can't tell you how much. I love the business more today than the day I broke in, and that was several years ago. So folks, I just got to tell you this. I hope you're enjoying this great night of action. I don't want to be a stranger. I want to come back. But I do want to say this. I want to thank each and every one of you folks for coming out tonight, supporting independent wrestling. I can assure you, get yourself ahead. I can assure you that independent wrestling is the lifeblood of professional wrestling. And without this stuff that goes on in this ring tonight, there is no AEW Dynamite. There is no WWE Raw. This business all starts in rings and arenas like this. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the show. Have a great night. I'm sorry, I almost touched your off earlier. It's not one like me to interrupt the last outlaw, King Kong the Hall of Famer. But you did bring up a good point when you came out here. I haven't seen your guitar anywhere. Excuse me! May I have your your attention, please. Hey, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. Shut your mouths, you bunch of Oklahoma pissants. I am not an Oreo. Who said that? Who said that? This isn't about me, the international superstar. This is about the last asshole, Jeff Jarrett. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Me, you, your daddy, Jerry Lawler, Jackie Fargo. We go back a long way, Jeff. A long way. And you know, my hand goes up, you say it. Jeff Jarrett, you and your entire family has been a skid mark on professional wrestling for the past 60 years. And I know you want to make this all about you. A meet and greet for Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's coming to Oklahoma. This is my hometown. This is my city. And you thought you were going to come in here and give someone a guitar shot, right? Yeah, you thought that. I made sure you don't even know where your guitar is, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, I got rid of your damn guitar, and you're not going to give nobody a guitar shot tonight. Come on. But I'm going to give Jeff Jarrett a shot tonight.
I got to tell you there, Max, Jeff Jarrett sucker punched me and everybody saw it. It was a sucker punch out of nowhere. And what kind of a low down human being attempts to sucker punch somebody? I don't understand what the thoughts that were going through Jeff Jarrett's mind right then when he attempted to sucker punch me. Now, I believe I have somebody calling in. Listen, Shane, I'm telling you, I'm not keeping you from being on this podcast. I have nothing to do with it.
I'm trying every way in the world. I'm fixing to try the computer, see if I can do it that way.
I mean, listen, we want you to be a part of this podcast. It's not like we had a plan to have Max Abel just like take over your spot or anything like that, Shane.
Well, fishy something going on here, and I can't get logged into this thing, and I've tried, and it's got me muted, and the only thing I can do is listen. I can't talk, and I can't be on camera, so I don't know. There's something fishy going on.
Okay, so Shane, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a commercial break real quick. Now, unfortunately, I have to do the voiceover for these commercials, so we're going to hang up on you. We're going to let you try to get the computer real quick. We're going to give you like 3 or 4 minutes, and if that doesn't work, I guess just call me back.
Okay, that'll work.
All right, so right now, we're going to actually talk about something near and dear to my heart there, Max Abel, because it's kept my heart pounding. We're going to talk about the Right Care Clinic right there in Columbia, Tennessee, 1202 South James Campbell Boulevard. They are open from 11 to 11. You want to talk about being able to go after work, or when you're just trying to fight it all, and you know what, you're not sick enough to go to the ER, but you do need to be seen. the Rock Hair Clinic is the place to go right there in Columbia, Tennessee, 1202 South James Campbell Boulevard. Also, we have TNR Towing and Recovery right here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. If you broke down in Coffee County, TNR Towing is here to help. Fast 24/7 roadside assistance, reliable, affordable, and local. That is TNR Towing right here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Want to make sure you get that number down there. Of course, we got two different numbers you can call there, 808-6201 or 434-4577. So, now that we're done with that, Max Abel, I was told that we might actually be joined by the Rock Dog. Now, we are having some problems with him too. I don't know what's going on and why we're having so many issues.
I think it's just because, they're like the fans of Tullahoma. They don't know how to use technology. They're not adequately adapt like we are, with technology.
That's exactly what I'm going to blame this on with Shane Morton. I mean, and if you can't join a podcast, like if you can't click a link and join a podcast, how are you going to be able to be the general manager of a professional wrestling organization? Now, I'm not saying Shane didn't have the ability to do this years ago, but I'm thinking he's lost a couple steps.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to be the general manager, how we know he's going to make sure wrestlers get paid, wrestlers are taken care of, because, they can't get on a I don't blame global warming. Global warming is a conspiracy. Let's just all say that. But let's just say, if he can't get on a podcast, what makes you think he could take care of the wrestlers as a general manager?
Well, I don't believe that he's going to be able to. We've got some comments here. Bubba Perry says Shane hasn't lost anything.
He's lost his ability to use a phone to get on.
He's lost connection with the podcast. So there is that. A lot of comments coming through.
I'm self-centered. Man, I just want people to come on here so we can tell the truth of how inadequate they are. So why don't you see yourself centered all the way down to the self-serve clinic?
We got some other comments here. Let's hear from DJ. Well, DJ is more than welcome to come on the podcast. He's more than welcome to come on. He's more than welcome to plug SWF Wrestling every Friday night, 106 Southside Street there in Tullahoma, Tennessee. He's more than welcome to come on and plug it if he wants to. In fact, Dwayne, why don't you tell DJ, log in?
Yeah.
Come on, he can come on and he can hop on the podcast with us. No problem whatsoever. Getting back to this Sunday, there are some huge matches that are also planned at 106 Southside Street there in Tullahoma, Tennessee. And one of them that I'm looking forward to happens to be Charlie Swinger and Homegrown. Now, Charlie Swinger is a guy I've watched for years too. Stomping Grounds down in Alabama. Mean guy. And I think Homegrown, kind of new to the business, just kind of getting his feet wet. He might have his hands full this Sunday.
He might. I don't know him that well, but I mean, from what you're telling, is Charlie Swinger, or is it Charlie Swinger or Charlie Swagger?
Oh, I miss it. Oh, Charlie Swagger. Oh, yeah, Charlie Swagger. Yeah. I think I'm talking about the same guy. Swagger, Swinger. Charlie Swinger on TNA.
I think, yeah. Is it? I think you're thinking Johnny Swinger.
There's so many swingers and swaggers. I don't know.
There's Jack Swagger. He just retired from wrestling. But yeah, hey, from what it sounds like though, if he could bring that swagger of being a mean guy and just some guy who thinks he's homegrown, just because you're homegrown, you can be in the ring.
We got Shane back on the line. Shane, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Shay. So I take it we couldn't get the computer to work.
And the computer, it's telling me your connection's not private, and that's as far as it'll go.
Huh. Well, if only you was technical. Max Abel said something earlier about you might have lost it. And I had to speak up, and I said, I don't think Shane's lost anything.
Me lost it. You said,
I believe he's lost it. He's more lost than last year's Easter egg.
So we actually have up on the screen now the flyer for this Sunday, 106 Southside Drive. Want to go over some of the key points of this special benefit that you're having and what you're really raising money for.
Well, the benefits for the Right Way Wrestling Union, and it's a reunion done once a year, and it brings a lot of the old timers, the people that paved the way for people like myself and you and different ones to get into this crazy business we love. And some of them's having health issues, and they can't, they can't get anything going, and don't have the money to make these things. And just to tell you, Mark Donovan, he's battling cancer right now, and he can use help, and we use that sometimes to get him help, and try to get him some help on things, with things he's needing, and just different people. It just helps out. We try to send flowers to funerals, things like that. Whatever a need is, we try to fulfill it if we can.
Something that is very needed in the professional wrestling business. There's not many wrestlers that have those 401ks and all of that stuff. Now we might.
Yeah. Can you see me now?
Wait a minute. Do we have Shane Morton live? Now we got the flyer up there, so we can't see Shane, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
you see me now.
Shane.
I can barely hear you.
Okay, there's Shane Morton live on Slamcast. About time is what Max Abel was telling me earlier.
Yeah, I'm just having all kinds of difficulty. I got a different phone. I got a work phone here.
Well, I can assure you that I did nothing to make any kind of problems happen or try to prevent you from joining this podcast, Shane. And we were talking about the Right Way Wrestling reunion. It's a great event you put on every year. All the greats from around the area that if this was where they wrestled, they come to that reunion, they meet their old pals, they hang out, they talk about the good old days. And then when someone's in need, like currently Mark Donovan is, there are funds that are gathered and there's raised to help him during this process. And our thoughts and prayers are with Mark Donovan and his entire family during this time. We hope that he kicks out like he's been doing. But continue speaking about this huge event Sunday, Shane. Now, what are some more of the matches? We went over that main event. We heard Jeremiah Plunkett's promo that he sent in where he kind of just laid the law down to the other second-generation superstars. Well, the other second-generation superstars in this match.
Yeah, it was interesting that Pat Rose, he's if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's a former Mid-America champion. I could be wrong on that. I know he's a former NWA Mid-America Tag Team champion. He's actually going to be in the house with Ty Rose. But another big match happening is D'Amico Graves against Zach Austin. They've had a little bit of a battle going on here and there. All over the territory, so to speak. So they've kind of got a big match. The Sons of Wrestling, all three of them are second-generation wrestlers. They're taking on the team of Buzzed Up, Mikey Woods, and Danny Copas. It's going to be interesting to see, two of the Sons of Wrestling are Mark Donovan's sons. So, let's hope that they can make the benefit. They may not be able to, depending on what goes on with Mark. He's currently in the hospital right now. We'll see. Hopefully he can get better and get out and they can make the benefit, but who knows? It's card subject to change. Charlie Swinger is actually going to be there. I don't know if you're familiar with Charlie Swinger. He's been around for a long time. He's
I know Charlie from our old days in Alabama.
Right. He's from Alabama. Yeah. He's going to take on a Homegrown, which is a local guy that's just starting out, and so Charlie Swinger says he's going to take him to school and give him some swing time. So we'll wait and see how that goes. And then there's a battle royal. I've got a guy that's coming in that has not been advertised yet. His name's Hayden Seal. Hayden is out of the Nightmare Factory School out of Atlanta. So he was trained by Cody and Dustin Rhodes, and or come out of their school anyway. I can't say that he was trained by either one of them because I'm not sure who's training down there. But he come out of the Nightmare School, and he's actually going to be there. And got several special guest surprise. Cody Morton and David Morton, the Smoking Buds, both of those that retired are going to make a special guest appearance and coming out just to say hey and meet and greet people, ask about them in quite a bit of places and want to know what they're up to. Well, this is about the only time you're going to get them there. And long and behold, Steve-O, been away from wrestling for about 10 years, wants to come out and just say hey to the fans, meet them and, just say hey and see what everybody's up to. So we'll see how he does, and there's a few more surprises that's coming that I can't really tell right now, but it'll be a big day.
We are all hoping that we have a huge event down there this Sunday there at 106 Southside Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee for this huge night of wrestling that's going to go down. And it's all for a good cause. And it's great to see everybody kind of coming together and trying to maybe put their feelings aside to promote a good cause and a good thing. And I can say that I'm happy to promote it as much as I can, and that we hope that you raise as much money as you can for the Right Way Wrestling Reunion and for the causes that you help support in putting that on. Now, before we continue on with the show, because we're about to wrap it up, we ain't got much longer, but we are going to give Rock Dog a little bit of time to get here. We're going to touch a little bit more about some of our sponsors that are the reason we're able to have a tremendous show and have matches like this.
Whoa.
So that's one of the huge matches. Caden Sade, Toby Farley. I mean, anybody that studies the local scene here in at Middle Tennessee or in the South at all know that these names are huge. Toby Farley just coming back from Japan recently. Caden Sade has always been that kind of a gem that's been – it comes out and shines every once in a while and then disappears. And it comes out and shines again. And what he's doing in Coastal Championship Wrestling there in Nashville, that's it. I think is amazing. And I love seeing Caden Sade do what he does. And you making that match, Shane, Toby Farley versus Caden Sade, that's a home run.
Yeah, Caden Sade's a fine young man. I know his father real well. Caden's come a long ways in what time he's been in the wrestling business, man. He's at one time all the talk you heard was about the EOW, I believe was what they were called, the Elements of Wrestling, I believe is what they were. Matt Madison, Caden Sade, they were a hot ticket for everybody for a while. Toby Farley, what can you say about him? He's been a mainstay in Tennessee. He great athlete, been all over the world. Man, Toby gives you 110% every time. Well, so does Caden Sade. But, Toby, he's well-traveled. Caden, like I said, he'll show up and he'll shine for a little while and then he'll disappear on you. But when he comes back, he doesn't seem like he shows any ring rust. So he must be staying in shape and getting ring practice here and there. And that's going to be an exciting match right there. I'm going to tell you from the word go, it's going to be action-packed from the word go.
When I had the opportunity to talk to Caden, he told me that he is in a position in his career to where he gets to pick who he wrestles. He's not just going to go in there and just take on anybody. He wants to test himself. Right. He wants to make sure if he's going to put his body on the line, there's going to be a good paycheck at the end of the day and some notoriety that goes along with it. So I've got to say, him disappearing and coming back, we see a lot of wrestlers do that, and a lot of those wrestlers are very sought after. And Caden Sade, I think, would be a hot commodity if he got the right spotlight put on him at the right time. Right.
I agree with you. He's got talent beyond talent. Man, he's a great asset to any company, and Action Sports blessed to have him there. Same thing with Toby Farley. Toby doesn't just wrestle anywhere. He wants to go and improve himself, and he wants to bring the fight to you. So Toby's, like I said, made a name around the South, pretty good, and been up north a lot, across the seas. So he's a well-traveled guy he's going to bring the fight to you for sure.
Toby Farley, Caden Sade, I'm calling it now. Probably going to be match of the year. Now, I also know, Shane, you have a huge announcement about a certain cowboy that is coming to Tullahoma September the 21st. Huge announcement about a certain guy. Do you want to tell us about it, Shane?
I can barely hear you. But
who's gonna?
Are you talking about the announcement that I'm fixing to break about James Storm?
There you go.
Yeah, James Storm is about to come to Tullahoma, Tennessee. James hadn't been in Tullahoma in probably 15 years, and he's coming to Tullahoma to Action Sports.
Huge announcement. The Cowboy, James Storm, coming to Action Sports Wrestling. Who knows what's going to happen there? We know that you haven't released his opponent yet for this huge night. That we'll hear that next week. I believe that's what you said.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, apparently there's an issue there with our audio. From when we were talking earlier, Shane, you had mentioned that there was going to be about a week before we would hear who would be James Storm's opponent.
That's correct. It's going to be about a week before you find out who he's going to be taking on.
So James Storm not only going to be part of a free meet and greet starting at 5 p.m. September 21st, right there in Tullahoma, Tennessee. He's also going to be in action, and we're going to find out.
He's going to be in action.
And we're going to find out
he has agreed to show up and put his gear on and get in there and entertain the fans like he's done for TNA and the WWE and NXT and all those places. And he said he wanted to come and do one big last hoorah around the state of Tennessee, and he wanted to start at the best, Action Sports Wrestling.
That is huge news. Now, I'm so happy that it's not Double J Jeff Jarrett. Now, I don't necessarily get along with James Storm, but much like you, we've known James. We have watched James progress in professional wrestling. We watched his career from beginning to end. And
that's correct.
I'm not
started out right there in Columbia, Tennessee, and traveled up and down the roads you and I traveled up and down.
Shane, talk to us a little bit about James Storm and tell us about the first time you saw that there was potential in him maybe being a TNA World Heavyweight Champion someday.
Well, I was wrestling at a outdoor venue in Columbia. And I got through wrestling, and the show was over with. And they said, "Hey, there's a guy out here needs to talk to you." And I said, "Okay." So I went out there, and it was James Storm. And he said, "Hey, somebody told me you do some training." And I said, "Well, not really, but And he goes, "I really want to train, and I've been training a little bit at USWA with Wolfie D, and I broke my shoulder." And I said, "Okay." He said, "I just got released and I want to go back to training, and they shut that school down." And he said, "I need some training." And I said, "Well, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. you show up at my house next week, and I gave him my address. I said, we'll see if you really want to train. He said, okay. So it was 110 degrees that day. It was in the middle of August. We set that ring up in the backyard and started training. And we trained for about 3 hours. And I said, man, dude, we got to quit. He goes, man, he said, I'll keep going if you want to. I said, no, that's good. We need to quit. And I said, come back next week and we'll train some more. And he showed up the next week and he retained everything that I had shown him and everything that, Wolfie and them had shown him. And I was like, man. And I asked him how long he trained with Wolfie and them. He said just a couple of months and he broke his shoulder. But he retained everything that he was shown. He retained all that information so well. I was like, man, this kid's got some talent. And man, the more the work, I was like, man, only trained him for about a month and a half, and he was ready to go. Put him in the ring. So, I mean, he was just a natural. And then he asked, he said, you think I can make it to the WWE? I said, well, I'm going to tell you like most people will tell you, yeah, you got talent. Can you make it there? If you're at the right place at the right time, you can make it. I said, but you got to be at the right place at the right time. And, like I said, he started working for me. I was running Columbia at the time. He started working for me, and he felt that to advance his career, he needed to move towards Nashville and go that way. So he parted ways with our company and went to Burt Prentice's company. And Jerry Jarrett showed up at one of the shows out there and watched him a little bit. Well, actually, Paul Neighbors Jr. had watched James out there one day and sent Jerry a message, said, you need to come and check this kid out. And Jerry went out there like a week or so later and checked him out. And then Jerry got Jeff out there right when they were about to start up TNA, and they got him on board, and he was one of the first ones on board and stayed on with them, till I guess they sold out to Scott D'Amore or whoever, and he stayed with them for a long time.
James Storm, without a doubt, one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. I can say that he helped put TNA on the map with some of his matches in the early days. Now, we're talking about way before there was Hulk Hogan there and way before there was RVD and the Hardy Boys. You had TNA originals like America's Most Wanted. You had, of course, the King of the Mountain himself, Jeff Jarrett. And I saw that Cody Angle was watching. You tell your daddy, Cody, that I'm coming for him, and he's lucky that he's not going to be there September 21st in Tullahoma, Tennessee, because I would get him back for that sucker punch that he gave me. Only a loser would sucker punch someone, Shane. Shane, you was there. You was there at our last show. You saw that Jeff Jarrett almost sucker punched me.
Well, I don't know about sucker punching. I think you may have bit off a little more than you can chew. And then when you started running down his family, I think he took a little offense to that. And, I think he tuned the guitar a little bit, didn't he?
Well, we'll see if Jeff Jarrett really has any kind of guts, because what I would like was for Jeff Jarrett to come to me face to face and not just sucker punch me the way he did. Because if I was ready and I knew he was there and I knew there was going to be physical combat, that would have been a completely different situation. Am I wrong, Max?
You're not wrong, because we all know what happens when JP gets in the ring. It's money, money, yeah.
That's a
well, maybe we can call Jeff and get Jeff back down there. Maybe you can have a match with Jeff. Maybe if we can get him around, if he gets unbusy with AEW, get you a match.
Jeff is a busy man. He's all over the place with professional wrestling. He's down south. He's up north. He's east and west. We don't need to bring Jeff back to Tullahoma, Tennessee. And let's be honest, I don't think anybody in Tullahoma really wants to see Jeff Jarrett. Everybody that came at that last show came because of me.
Well, they may have come because of you. You may be right there, but it was probably to see you get your butt whooped. So, I mean, to me, it seemed like the fans went crazy when he tuned you up there. It seemed like the fans went crazy, like hit him again, hit him again. That's what I remember.
Well, the fans are afterthought. The main thought that we was talking about before I was so rudely interrupted by Shane Morton was James Storm, who is coming September the 21st to Action Sports Wrestling, 200 Craft Lane, right there in Tullahoma, Tennessee. It's going to be a huge night. Now we've got just a couple more minutes left, and we do want to remind everyone about that benefit coming up. Now, do you want to run down the card one more time for us there, Shane? Now we do say that card's subject to change, but we have some matches that we do think that you're going to be happy.
Which card?
For the reunion this Sunday.
Oh, you got Homegrown and Charlie Swinger. You've got the Sons of Wrestling taking on Buzzed Up Mike Woods and Danny Copas. Christian Cross versus Superstar Mikey Dunn. Zach Austin versus D'Amico Graves. And a Mid-America title match, DJ Art with Yukon in his corner and Jeremiah Plunkett, the current champion, with Sonny Street in his corner, taking on Ty Rose and Pat Rose in his corner. That's a three-way dance. And plus, there's a 10-man over-the-top battle royal.
That is huge. This Sunday, 106 Southside Street, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Bell time, 2 p.m. All tickets are $10. Come on down, see great wrestling action for a great cause. And don't forget, coming up, it's going to be James Storm in Tullahoma, 200 Craft Lane, Action Sports Wrestling, and that huge match that Shane signed before, Caden Sade going one-on-one with Toby Farley. That is going to be huge. Now we got Brett Abel, Max Abel. He's going to be there. He's going to be in the corner of Tyler Thorne as Tyler Thorne goes one-on-one with the Rock Dog. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't help the Rock Dog get through. We were supposed to have him on tonight. Might be some technical difficulties. We might try this again next week, so maybe we can actually have Rock Dog on. But we want to thank everybody for joining us, and we also want to thank our sponsors that helped make this happen tonight. We touched on a few of them earlier. The Rock Care Clinic in Columbia, Tennessee. They are one of the reasons that we are able to provide great professional wrestling. Oh, also got a huge announcement. I almost forgot. Ooh, this is so big. I'd like to get y'all's reaction to this. Tullahoma Takedown Club is amateur wrestling from kindergarten all the way up to high school. And yet again, Chandler Anderson, through his generosity, has offered free admission to every wrestler on the Tullahoma Takedown Club League. So that's kindergarten up all the way up to high school. And what a great opportunity it would be for them to come see real professional wrestling right there in Tullahoma. What do you think about that, Max?
I love it. I love it. They can come see us or come see Tyler Thorne and Rock Dog finally and forever, because I'm tired of Rock Dog. I've been around him too long, and it's always smelly when he's around.
And Shane, what do you think about it? Tullahoma Takedown Club, they're all invited to come out. 200 Craft Lane, September 21st.
The Tullahoma Takedown is a great club, and man, that's great. Chandler Anderson is giving them free admission to come in, because that is a great club. Chandler's a great guy there. Right Care, the Right Care clinics great company. Been there myself. They took good care of me when I was there. Can't say anything bad about them. The good folks at Right Care, they took care of me. When you go visit them, you're in and out. You're not like at an emergency room sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. But man, it's just great that he's going to give admission to the Tullahoma Takedown Club. And that's what we need is some more sports in for our youth. And what a way to get them acclimated to our business. And you know, I know it's a little different type wrestling, but there's so many greats that have come from that background. I mean, one of the greatest, Kurt Angle, look at him, Olympic gold medalist, and look how far he went into wrestling, you know. So Brock Lesnar, former NCAA heavyweight champion, Shelton Benjamin. Oh man, the list goes on. Charlie Halls. Look at all these guys that come from amateur backgrounds of wrestling, and what a great opportunity for Tullahoma, the Tullahoma Takedown Club. Come on out. I encourage all of you to come out. If you want to see some good wrestling action, hey, who knows? We may see some of you guys in the ring someday. Just keep on coming out and supporting local wrestling, and you know, we might see some of them in the ring in a few years. Who knows?
We look forward to seeing the Tullahoma Takedown Club right there, and we want to thank Chandler Anderson for providing admission. I mean, like, he's literally forking the bill for all of them. If they want to come, they got a ticket right there at the Action Indoor Sports Arena here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Also, we want to thank Painter's Dream website production. They do more than website production. If you have a business, if you need anything done when it comes to marketing, advertising with your business, Perry Hartman there with Painter's Dream Production is the way to go. We also want to thank TNR Towing and Recovery. Breakdown in Coffee County. TNR Towing is here to help. Fast 24/7 towing and roadside assistance, reliable and affordable, and they're local right here in Tullahoma. And Lube to You. Lube to You is the main sponsor for Action Sports Wrestling. They actually bring the oil to your door. Lube to You. 1-877-LUBE-TO-YOU-1 or LUBE-TO-YOU.net. I don't know if you ever gone and got your oil changed, but it can be expensive. $69.99 flat, no extra fees, no scams, no upcharges. It's just $69.99. That is Lube to You. Right there, serving Middle Tennessee area. Shane Morton, Max Abel, I want to thank both of you for joining me tonight here for the first Slamcast. And you know what? Maybe we'll actually be able to get it, the technical kinks worked out, and we'll have it a little bit smoother come the next one. How about that, guys?
All right, that sounds wonderful.
Well, I want to say thank you to you, JP, and well, Max Abel there, and Action Sports Wrestling, and everybody involved in this for letting me come on, being a part of this, and letting me advertise this benefit coming up. You know, I really do appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to doing great things at Action Sports and bringing true professional wrestling to you the way it was meant to be. We're going to sell you a seat for every show. We'll sell you the seat, but you only need the edge because you're going to be standing on your feet most of the time.
Sorry about your damn luck. I'm a creek swimming, moonshine sipping, deer skinning, beer drinking, Johnny Cash Christmas.